Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and I'm back again with another Poke Paints, and today we are doing ZWEILOUS. Like I said earlier when I was doing Dino, I believe that the Dino line is based on the hydrangea plant. That is just my own personal theory, although there are others out there who believe the same thing. And I think that it looks a little bit more present in ZWEILOUS just because now on the necks of both of the beings there are like these little petal things. Like, they're not really thorns because I do believe that hydrangeas don't have thorns. And yeah, I just thought I would just mention that just because I feel like it definitely looks more like a flower, especially with like the neck kind of fur that it has going on as well. But while I was doing the line art for ZWEILOUS, I noticed that it's pretty much just Dino with two heads, maybe sans the dots that are on the neck area. And like Dino, I had so much fun doing this. I really love the dark aspect of this character design. So it definitely was it was so fun to do. I especially loved all the shading. Oh my gosh, I really loved doing the shading on the knees. I don't know what it was, but just that having that light bouncing off, I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way about stuff like this? I feel like sometimes I'm a little strange when it comes to the lighting and the shading because actually, I was never really that comfortable when it came to shading things before, but I think after I took these two classes last year, I felt just a little bit more confident and comfortable with figuring out lighting and shading, even though sometimes I do feel like I do need some sort of a vantage point sometimes, like I did with the Pikachu drawing, just to help me kind of get a little foot off the ground and kind of help the picture along. I actually forgot to mention this in the Dino video, but I used a dark blue, I believe it was a Crayola colored pencil to do the final line work. And I did that because I didn't necessarily want black because I thought that was going a little too dark. So I went with the dark blue, and I thought I really liked it for Dino, but when I did it for ZWEILOUS, and you'll see soon, I actually end up losing some of the I think it was the petals, the thorns on the neck. I ended up losing when I started doing the black because they just I couldn't see the line work anymore. So I ended up kind of just putting the thorns where I believed that they belonged. So they ended up getting lost, and I apologize for that. I think I had a harder time doing ZWEILOUS's shading just because I couldn't seem to get the gray quite right. A lot of the times when you see a lot of shading, you'll see that the furthermost, well, in this case the foot, is the furthest back, and that needs to be the darkest. So I really tried my best to make that value as dark as possible without adding like black to it. So again, I think this would be further improved if I did have a better selection of grays, which and now I'm gonna get them soon, guys. I'm gonna get them. I actually did just end up buying a laptop, so hopefully this will help with the video editing process, because right now I'm working off of a 6-year-old laptop that is definitely not made for video or photo editing. It tends to lock up a lot of the times whenever I'm doing like some of the sped up footage. So I ended up having to kind of take a little step back from the quality, which is not what I want to do. I definitely want to give you guys the best experience possible. So hopefully, you know, in the next couple weeks we'll be seeing some better footage, so fingers crossed, guys. Similar to the Gudra watercolor painting I did a while back, the line art for this was starting to bleed a little bit whenever I added the water. So I don't really know why it's doing that. I don't know if maybe it's a design flaw as far as the formula for the colored pencils, but you know, it was a little something that I was like, but it didn't ruin the picture or anything. It was just kind of a little drawback. When I was doing the red on ZWEILOUS's chest, or it was ZWEILOUS, not ZWEILOUS. I used to call it ZWEILOUS. Did anybody else pronounce some Pokemon names really strangely? For the longest time, before I learned that it was Kyogre, I was like pronouncing it Kyogre because I thought it sounded cooler. And you know, Japan and whatnot, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so on ZWEILOUS's chest there, where the red is, I I think I was trying to do something with the shading and it wasn't working, so I kept adding more colors and it just wasn't working, so I kept adding more. And then at one point I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta stop. You just gotta stop yourself, because if you keep going, you're going to ruin the picture. So I did, and I'm glad I didn't try to save it or anything, because there's just that one point where you get to, and you just gotta stop, guys. Sometimes I'm never sure what I like better, doing the watercolor painting and just leaving it as is, or doing the watercolor painting and then, you know, redoing the line art so it pops. Sometimes I just like how soft a painting looks after it's been done and it's colored, but you know, I've been doing the line art afterwards for so long, it's just kind of that step I have to take. So you guys tell me, do you like watercolor paintings without the added line art, or do you like the kind of, you know, edginess that adds afterwards? Well guys, this is the end, and I just want to go ahead and thank you again so much for stopping by and just sharing this time with me as you always do. I appreciate it when you subscribe and you comment and you like and all that fun stuff, and I just want to say how grateful I am to have you guys around, and I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.